Welcome back to the Turn on the Music podcast. My name is Kyle. We have kind of a revisited episode this week. We're going to talk again about Beth Hart. And to do that, we've got CJ. CJ, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
So, yesterday, I walked into my room at work and I looked at the two people there and I said, seriously, do you mind if I crawl under my desk and cry for a little while? Um, and I was serious because I had just worked with someone. We were trying to update his computer, and I said, "Hey, would you mind logging in?" And he looked at me kind of with a strange face, and I said, "What's the matter?" He goes, "I don't know my username." And I went, "What?" He said, I don't know my username." I was like, "It's so the way the username works in our company is it's your last name, the first two initials of your first name, or first two letters of your first name, middle initial, unless your last name is really long, and then we chop off letters."
Right.
Um, well, he didn't know his username. Um, I had to look it up because he couldn't figure it out. Ironically, he knew his password, which changes every 6 months, but didn't know his
Wow.
username. I don't know the answer. Like if he had just started, been there a week, like I get it, like it's kind of a weird
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
But he's been there 3 years. You're supposed to type in your username every day that you log in. How? How is that possible?
But was he not using anything?
So he was using his government machine and not his issued for the other company. So
Right.
um yeah. But yeah, that's
Wow.
that's how my week has been going. On top of that, there was a massive accident on the way home. It took me 2 hours to get home today.
Wow.
So they had to close 675 on the way home. SUV flipped over and someone was ejected from the vehicle.
Oh,
So, yeah.
oh, that sucks.
Yep.
But like lately, there's been car accidents everywhere.
Yeah, because
Like
people are in a rush to get places and they don't pay attention and they drive like idiots and it's the
it's
summer,
horrible.
you know?
I was like, even like Tuesday, I was going into work a little bit later because I had an appointment in the morning, and I'm going down one of the roads because I was going to go pick up coffee before I went to work, and I'm driving, I'm in the right lane, and this guy in the left decides to go to merge without looking. And if I didn't pay attention and slow down and honk my horn, he would have rammed me into a tree on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was that close.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, like, I was shocked. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was just shocked. Like
Yep.
I was, I mean, I cursed out loud, but I
Mm,
just,
yeah. Yeah.
but I'm like, how do you not, you must be taking this road every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, like, get into the right lane.
Yep.
Like, be in that lane ahead of time if you know you're going to be turning off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if it's a right hand turn, you know you had to turn right off of the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've been driving a lot with the doors off of the Jeep,
Oh,
which
really?
I swore I would never do, but it's I love it. It's so much fun. But I am now hyper aware of everything that's going on because
Of course, yeah.
you know
Do you have completely done, or do you have a one of those what is it? It's not a
the two doors.
half.
No, I don't have two doors now.
No. They look like basically look like bars, and they
Yeah.
just like you have those on.
No,
You
I
don't
got
have
nothing.
anything at all.
Mm-mm.
It's completely open.
Yep. If I turn too hard, I fall out the seat.
Well, hopefully you have a seatbelt on.
No, of course. Yeah. So
Is it a 5 point buckle?
it is not. No,
Okay.
the zipper.
It's the zipper.
So
It's funny.
yeah. So how are you doing?
Uh it's funny. I have we have a training happening next week. It's Monday through Friday, and it's gone on for the past couple of years because it's done by grant. And I was shocked that I never did it. Like I should have been doing it. I should have done at least one because it's about a bunch of stuff with education. I was like, I turned to my supervisor. I'm like, can I do this? She goes, yeah. She goes, that's a good idea. Like, so we're talking about it. And so it's 5 days of me being a part of this group. And she my supervisor turns around and she goes, I know that you're going to be attendee. She goes, but I also still need you to do your job. Like, and like, not in a bad, like she laughed. Like, and it's typically, I help set up for the workshops and make sure everybody has what they need. So it's nothing that I don't do. I'm like, I said to her, I said, I figured, I'm like, that's not a problem. But it was just really funny. Like next week, by Friday, probably by Wednesday, but by Friday, I'm going to be so burnt out.
Mm,
'Cause I'm like, I'm doing double duty. I'm excited because it's actually a really cool program. I'm just gonna be so burnt out. So the past 2 weeks, we're a little behind with things, and it's partially because we have new people that are doing certain stuff and they're not being done right, and because they weren't trained properly, whatever the reason may be. So where I am now with my work is typically where I am at the end of June.
mm,
I shouldn't be where I am now with work. So that's a little discerning to me, but there's nothing I can do about it. My stuff is done and then there's only so much I can do. So it's just
right.
past couple of weeks have been a little bit much,
Mm-hmm.
but it is what it is. Like I can complain all the way I want. It's still going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it's just, I'm
Yep.
tired and the
Mm-hmm.
heat's not been great. The heat's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
You got the same thing?
Today was actually really nice.
Yeah.
Like mid 70s.
That's nice.
So,
Yeah. We were hitting 90 and stuff. So the past week has been that made it worse too. It was like at the
mm-hmm.
end of the day, you're just dealing with heat and you're just like, I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
Want to crawl under a desk and cry.
Yes.
Are you listening to anything good or new?
um. So nothing really new. I mean, it's been kind of a rotation of Cory Wong, Mingo Fish Trap. I mean, the usual suspects. Punch Brothers, Victor Wooten, just kind of on a loop. Um. So yeah, nothing new. Haven't really looked for anything new. It's so I have a playlist for the dogs when there's a thunderstorm. I put on a super long playlist, and it's a Cory Wong playlist because he's
Okay.
got so much music. It's 14 hours. I just do everything of Cory Wong in a playlist, and we've had a lot of thunderstorms lately. So every morning I turn that on as I walk out the house, and it's like, ooh, I want to listen to Cory Wong today. So
Oh, so this is playing even when you're not there.
yeah, it plays when I'm not there, so it
Typically when you're
distracts
not
them
there.
from the thunder. Because
Oh,
Sky is super afraid of the thunder, so if I can distract her from it, that's what I do. So,
yeah. Rolly is not the first time we experienced thunderstorms with him, so he was
mm-hmm.
kind of like we were hanging out. Well, fireworks started it. We were hanging out with
Mm.
him, and he's like, and he ran back into the house, but he would come
Yep.
back to the door and be like, and run back, like, so he wasn't sure. And then
Yep.
thunderstorms, he's not too bad with.
Mm-hmm.
If they're really loud overhead, like
Yeah.
if they're in the distance, he's not too bad. But it's funny. It's funny because he's curious, but he's like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Yeah.
So and
And
he will sit at a window and bark at like the ice cream truck as it drives by, or the UPS truck, or the Amazon truck, and he barks, he barks, and I'm like, one day I want to open up the door, see if he'll still do it, or if he'll just look
mm-hmm.
at the like a
It
deer
just
in
freezes.
headlights, just
Yeah.
go like,
Yeah.
uh,
And it's rough in July because we do have the fireworks, and it's fireworks and thunderstorms, and it's like every little noise that Sky hears, she thinks it's something, and she's sprinting back inside. But if she
right.
catches a glimpse of a squirrel, she'll stop and then go chase the squirrel until she gets distracted by the
So
thunder
a
again, or
true
whatever noise.
squirrel moment.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
So
even a joke. It's a true
no,
like,
it is
oh,
true. Yep,
oh wait, I'm supposed to be scared.
yep, yeah. So you're funny. What
That's
about you?
funny.
You listening to anything good?
So I was listening to Aerosmith the other day.
Oh, nice.
I I was sitting down and like I don't know what happened. Something happened, and the
Did
song
you listen to the
"Loving
album
It."
that has all the hits on it?
Yeah, the one that has the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I I was watching something and "Love in an Elevator" came in my head. Like
Mm,
"Love in an Elevator," and I'm like, I want to listen to Aerosmith. So I put
yeah.
on and I just let it play and I played a few of the songs. And then Hosier.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I've been listening to a little bit of that. And there was one other I've been listening to the to Markin,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. The guy who played with the guy from Polyphia.
Yeah.
So not much out of I think Aerosmith was the extreme of like outside of what I've been normally doing.
Gotcha.
But I've been listening to an
Cool.
audiobook in the morning, and like so I'm trying to like get through it.
Yeah. I had someone come in the office today. I don't know how it came up, but I brought up Eric Clapton. He's like, "Who?" I was like, "Excuse me."
Really?
Yeah. I was like, "Wow, you're that young, huh?"
What? My son came up to me. He goes, "Daddy," I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Can I listen to Coffee Black Coffee?" I'm like, "Who?" There's an artist out there called like I don't know if it's a group or if it's him called Black Coffee, and I'm like, "I don't know. I have to listen to it." He goes,
Hmm.
"But they have this one really good song," and I'm like, I felt like you cannot listen to the song because of the like. I was just no, I don't want to be that person,
Yep.
but I didn't know who it was. I've never listened.
Hmm.
I'm and it may just be the type of music he sings that I don't listen to, or
Hmm.
he may just be so new that I haven't experienced him.
I've never heard of him.
I don't know. So if you're listening to this and you know him, send some information our way. So I have to listen to it to make sure. You know, it is. I don't want him cursing. I
Hmm.
don't care if the lyrics are a little like, it is what it is. He listens to Michael Jackson, so
Hmm.
but I don't want like I don't need the cursing in it. He curses enough without the music.
Uh, all
So
right.
we're doing a Beth Hart what is it? What is it? What's the sequel?
Reprise.
Reloaded.
Reloaded. Okay.
The Matrix.
I was
Beth Hart.
going. I was going like more musical reprise. But,
Whatever.
so, we have a lot of Beth Hart fans out there, which is really cool.
Yes.
And a lot of really dedicated and really knowledgeable Beth Hart fans. So I need to thank Ben Schulman who put basically this entire episode together. I'm literally going to read what he wrote. So if you've gone through the comment from the video that we posted 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, this is all in there. But there was just it's one of those things that when we're doing these episodes, it's what's going to captivate people more about the artist? Is it going to be the music or is it going to be the story? And it's like with Beth, it's kind of both, and
Yeah.
it's hard to I don't want to. I mean, she's got so much good music. Like where do you draw the line of like story of her life versus the music? So this is going to be more kind of a mixture of story and life, because that's kind of how he laid it out.
Mhm.
So first off, thank you so much for giving all of this information. It was
Yes.
incredibly generous and so really well done. So thank you so much, and we really appreciate it. So
And
um,
there's like what's really great is if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see all of everything that Ben mentioned on there.
mhm,
And this is one of the videos that has some of the higher viewpoints for us
yeah.
because of who she is. And it looks like, did you even get the one that from 6 days ago from Monique? I don't know how to say the last name. First
Mm,
time viewer, you should listen to her live. Unbelievable.
I
These
think I
songs.
did. Did I not respond to it?
No, 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 you probably. Oh no, you did. I can see it. But like,
Okay.
it's just so cool to see this breakdown of all
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So we'll get right into it. So just as I read through all of this, we've kind of compared her to the likes of Ava Cassidy, in terms of talent and singing prowess and performance. Um, and reading through this, we could have lost Beth a long time ago, and it would have been way
yes,
too soon. Just reading through this. So, her parents divorced around the age of 5, and then she was put into therapy at the age of 7. Um, so you'll find out little later on that she does struggle with bipolar disorder. That was not diagnosed until she was, I believe, in her 30s.
yeah,
Um, so there's a lot going on. Um, Somewhere between ages of 7 and 11, there was a violent home invasion and robbery. Um, then the father got into some gambling trouble, gambled the house away, abandoned the family, and was eventually imprisoned for tax evasion. Um, and the song "Try a Little Harder" is the song that she wrote about that. So we're gonna play a little bit of "Try a Little Harder." Um, Now this is off of the Bad Woman Blues album.
sing, sing, and I don't mind soul searching for a little more. And you said, try a little harder, child, I get it. Try a little more. I know if I try a little harder, child, I hate it. Try a little more, and back up on top. Won't quit till I drop. My time's like a clock. I can never stop. I can't miss a thing. I swear on my ring. Hear the lucky lady sing, 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 and I don't mind so searching for.
Such a good song.
So what album is it from?
Bad Woman Blues, I think the album's called.
Okay, so is it on two
sorry,
albums?
War in My Mind. Sorry, War in My
I
Mind.
just want to make sure I wasn't reading something wrong.
Yeah,
So,
Bad Woman Blues is on that album. Sorry.
yes, okay. Okay.
Yeah. There was something I was going to say, and I forget what it is now.
So I cut you off.
We'll just keep going on down the list. By the age of 11, she's an alcoholic, which is crazy. I mean, that's... At 12 years old, she's in a relationship with a 40-year-old man, and the song Woman Down is about that. And that's off the same album, War in My Mind.
There's been a crime, a smoking gun. God knows I tried like hell to run. The man in black, he found a crack inside my mind. Inside my mind, he likes to climb inside my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a million more ways to lay my lover down. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm so lovesick to take this mother out. All that I had is all that he stole. Now all that I am is trash.
I really wish my brain would let me focus on lyrics and music at the same time on the first listens. I had to listen to this one several times to like get the whole story and get around the the music stuff. So,
but it's amazing the story that she tells just in that first minute or so of the song.
Yeah.
So just for time frame, she's 12 at this point. So this is 1984.
Yep.
She was born in 1972. Mm-hmm. I only say that because it's just progression wise, it's very interesting when you start telling them more. So this is 1984. She's 12 and she's dealing with somebody who's manipulating her.
Yep. And then at 15, she leaves LA and then she moved, or California. I assume it's LA.
Yeah, it's Los Angeles.
To Brooklyn to live with a violent 25-year-old man. Interesting. I mean, so that's what, 87 then? Did she just go to Brooklyn? Like, I would assume she didn't go to Brooklyn for this man. She just went to Brooklyn first and ended up being with him because, how would she know about this person?
Right. Or then, it's someone she knew.
And then moved away or was in LA or something. Yeah.
I mean, in a situation like that, it's probably, she may have been someone she knew and he was like, just come out here.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Then she was arrested and jailed for a DUI at age 15. 16, she's back in LA. And she is forced to leave a prestigious music school because of poor attendance, because she was out in clubs at night singing. And if you watch, so that down in the show notes in the description, there will be several documentaries I watched the first one last night. I just haven't had a chance to get through all of them. But there's an hour-long documentary put out by Rock Palast. It's a German company, and she talks about a lot of this stuff. And she talks about her time in high school where she was just trying to make money, and she would go out and just play in clubs. And she told a story about like one of her very first show, that because she was always just playing like a song here, a song there, but her first like full on set, she was friends with a prostitute, and the prostitute would go backstage with her, tell her what to say in between the songs because she just didn't know what to say, how to engage the audience and that sort of thing. I mean, just crazy stories of her life. It's remarkable what she's been through. Let's see. So it says in a string of abusive relationships. She's written many songs about them, but Caught Out in the Rain and Fire on the Floor are two superb examples. So we played Caught Out in the Rain once before, but it's worth playing again. So take a listen to this one.
Time he walks out the door, I wonder if he's ever coming back. I can't help but love the taste of danger, babe, and the how and the wind and the rough in his hands. I got caught out in the rain. If I die, I don't care. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with this man. I got caught out in the rain.
One of the interesting things that she said in the documentary that I watched last night was one of the reasons she's drawn to the blues is because she finds it hopeful. You know, she thinks that the blues, and I kind of agree, that like no matter what happens, you know, it's about moving forward and keep going on, you know, whatever it takes to move forward.
Well, it's like gospel music.
Yeah.
Gospel music came out of slavery, and it's music about there's a better place. We're gonna find a better place. We're gonna get to a better place, and you know, I definitely agree with that. I think blues definitely has that you know, I know I'm in a bad spot right now, but better times are coming.
Yep. And here's Fire on the Floor.
Love is a fever and is burning me alive. It can't be tamed or satisfied. There is no mercy for the fallen or for the weak. Love is a nasty word to speak. I don't wanna love him anymore. There's nothing like the man I loved before. But the pain gets real comfortable when it's all you got. Ashes and smoke, they can't compete. Not even hell can take the heat. I'll be sliding off of my seat for this flame. 'Cause love is like fire on the floor. It's got me running for the door, but I'll be crawling back for more of his fire on the floor. It don't matter what you say, you can't survive it, babe.
So that brings us to her 20s. And it's around this time, I didn't know this about her until last night, that she was on Star Search and she actually won. I had no idea. So
I share a birthday with her.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah, that's great. I totally forgot. Yeah, I share a birthday with her. Yeah, I was just reading that she won Star Search.
Yep.
Or Star Search, as it's really called, not Star Search.
Sure, sure. So at 22, her sister Sharon dies of AIDS. The song Skin and Sister Heroine talk about those two. So here's Skin.
She combs her hair and cleans her face, closes the door and kneels to pray. And it don't matter that she's alone, and beast or dragon, she's going home.
And then the next song is called Sister Heroine, also about her sister.
It's gonna be a dark, cold December. We're shaking lilies in the yard, and your sweet face I will remember, and how I'm gonna miss your stubborn heart. So forgive me for my weakness. I guess my faith is a little stone. The angels cried on Friday, the day that God walked you home. fear without you.
And that featured Slash on guitar as well. They're actually very good friends. They play a lot together. They're very similar in terms of their, I guess, musical philosophy, that they just kind of want to play, and they just they don't really care. They just they just want to make music. And Slash is and Beth are about a lot of like power and
Right.
At the age of 27, she is officially diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So I was wrong. I thought it was her 30s, but close enough. And then 1999, the hit song the hit song LA Song. That was the one that was featured in Beverly Hills 90210. What I didn't realize is that she actually performed it during the episode. I didn't it's in
I didn't know that.
It's in a club, yeah. So in the description and the show notes, there will be a YouTube video of a snippet of that episode of her playing it in the episode.
Oh, that's cool.
Oddly enough, when I was looking at it, it's only like 300 views of that, and it's hard to find on YouTube. So shout out to Ben for finding it. That was awesome. So here is LA Song, which we've played several times.
She hangs around the boulevard. She's a local girl with local scars. She got home late. She drank so hard the bottle ached. And she tried and she tried and she tried and she tried. But nothing's clear in a bar full of lies. So she takes and she takes. She takes and she takes. She understands when she gives it away. She says, man, I gotta get out of this town. Man, I gotta get out of this pain. Man, I gotta get out of this town. Out of this town. Out of the way. She's got a gun. She's got a gun. She got a gun she called the lucky one. She left a note right by the phone. Don't leave a message, 'cause this ain't no home. And she cried and she cried and she cried and she cried. She cried so long her tears ran dry. Then she laughed and she laughed. She laughed and she laughed, 'cause she knew she was never coming back. She said, man, I'm gonna get out of this town.
So around this time, this is about when the time when her career started to explode and she got a lot more popular. But she weighed at 92 pounds, nearly died of drug overdose, alcohol abuse, and anorexia. She was mentioning in the documentary that she was just trying to dull the pain from her bipolar disorder. She just didn't know how to do it. I think she said that she was in psych wards 4 or 5 times, and it was like it took that long to get the right medication and the right
Because it was
ways
so
to deal with it.
it was such a new thing.
Yeah.
It's always been around, but we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know about it.
Yep.
She was 92 pounds. She's 5'9".
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, no,
I think my pinky weighs about 92 pounds.
I mean, but that's the crazy thing about back then is with mental health, we had no idea
Right.
what was what. We knew there was stuff there, but it was not spoken about.
Mhm.
People weren't looking into it. And it's not until the past, I'm going to say 10 years. I'm not going to even say 20.
Yeah.
The past 10 years has there been a better understanding of what people were going through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, she probably was dealing with a cocktail of medications until
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And then Atlantic Records dropped her in 2000. And she was saying that it was so hard to play. Like she would have a few gigs on the East Coast, but like the majority of her gigs were in Africa and like Holland and, just all over the place. And it was one of those things where like she did it because she needed money, but like the cost to go out there to do that sort of stuff, she was barely breaking even if at all. So, she did have a very good manager, a man by the name of Dave Wolf, that she met. I want to say in the 90s, like right before LA Song. he was the same manager as Cyndi Lauper. So he managed Cyndi Lauper, and they told the story because he's on the documentary as well. And she said that she wouldn't work with him until he played cards with her. So they went out to a deli and they played cards for 3 hours. They talked nothing about music, nothing about anything, and then she was able to, by the way he played cards, she was able to read him and trust him enough to, and they've been together ever since. He's never left her side. He's been with her dealing with all of these, mental health issues and, just, always been there for her. So that was super cool, listening to that story. So speaking of psych wards, there are 2 songs that she wrote about that. The first one is called Isolation, and this is off of her very first album called Immortal. And then off the same album, this is called Spiders in My Bed. Oops, sorry. I thought I hit pause. Apparently I didn't. This is called Spiders in My Bed. So one of the things that Ben mentioned in all of his comments is, there's a difference between her studio albums and her live performances, and she is such an amazing performer. It's difficult with my setup to do YouTube videos to get them on the YouTube thing and the podcast recording. So that, and we have to worry about the YouTube taking them down because it's a copy of a copy and a thing, and there's a lot of logistics that go into trying to make that happen. So I'm not going to do any of the live YouTube stuff, but I will play one of the ones he recommended. It's a song called "I'd Rather Go Blind," which is an Etta James tune that she did with Joe Bonamassa live in Amsterdam. So this is off of that album.
Something told me that it was over, baby. When I saw you and that girl, you were talking. Something deep down in my soul said, go on and cry, girl. When I saw you and that same person in yours was walking by. And I'd rather be a blind girl, baby, than to see you walk away from me, baby. Don't leave me. I don't want to see you go. Cause you see, I love you so much. I don't want to watch you leave me. Don't want to watch you leave.
So in the show notes in the description, I will link the YouTube video so you can watch the performance as opposed to just listening to it. So I've got one more to play for you. This is not a recommendation from Ben, but while I was putting this together, I found another one. But before we get to that, just want to talk about what's going to be in the show notes. Will be Ben's notes. Again, thank you so much for all of that information.
Yeah.
Like, tremendous. Inside of those notes are 5 different documentaries to watch about Beth. I can only speak to the one that I've watched so far, which is called Bad Woman Blues. It's 60 minutes long. Like I mentioned, it's from Rock Palace, which is a venue and production company that do a lot of like musical concerts on DVD and stuff. I've got a Tower of Power one that they did, a Joe Bonamassa one that they did. So they've done a whole bunch of different artists. So that was a fantastic documentary. If you're interested in her life, like it's Dave Wolf, Slash is in it, and her guitarist, who I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's really cool. He goes, there's a little segment of the documentary where he goes to this like little tiny club just to play with like a bunch of like local musicians, and Beth just sits there and watches, and then he's like, just come up and sing a song, and she comes up and sings like Led Zeppelin, in front of like 20 people, so it's, the fact that she just loves doing that is just so cool.
Right.
So there'll be 5 documentaries there. The list of the songs that we put there, I'll put Beth's stuff back in the show notes as well. I think that's everything.
And I think this is what we hope for, is this response.
Yep.
We're bringing musicians and artists that we're finding that even though they've been around a while, but we haven't heard them because they're not on mainstream radio, whatever. And we want to put them in the forefront because these are the musicians we want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know them and you're like Ben and you can rattle off and give us this information, we want to hear this information because we want to know about it. And this is the conversations we want to have. I know this was like through YouTube and he's commenting and you've replied and stuff, but that's important to us. So as you listen to our episodes and you hear an artist or whatever, or you think an artist even connects with the one that we played, let us know, because this is how we grow too as musicians, as listeners, is that we want these conversations to happen.
Yep.
So,
and you can, like, our link tree is in the notes, so you can get to us on Instagram and X and Blue Sky and all those things.
Join our Discord server.
Discord, yep. There's lots of ways. Emails in there. There are lots of ways to get in touch with us. Listening to Beth talk last night, she brought up an interesting point that I kind of wanted to bring up. She said one of the reasons that she loves not being famous is that she's not, chased around by the paparazzi, and she can kind of go about her life and just, make music the way she wants to, dress the way she wants to, and, make the kind of music she makes. It's, hearing something like that, it's like, as much as I want to respect that, like, I also want to make sure that people hear her music at the same time. It's kind of a fine line that I try to walk, because I respect that she doesn't want to become that, huge star, but I think that her story is so important and her music is so good. More people need to hear it.
I think that the people that want to hear it will hear it. Not everybody's ears are going to be open to be willing to listen to her music.
That's true.
Even if you tell them, and I think that is something to say. It's like Joe Bonamassa. Like, he's known, but he's also not known.
Yep, and he's the same. He has the same mindset. He likes not being the.
But he's put out how many albums over a 4-decade, career.
Yep.
So it's nice to see this mindset and have musicians that are so talented, doing what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So while I was putting this together, I found Beth Hart and the Ocean of Souls. I mean, this was literally an hour ago, and I have not had a chance to look up who the Ocean of Souls were, whether it's her current band. I don't know.
The 1993 album.
1993 album. So one more quick little. I really like the this version of this. This is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Oh, the last song I did it.
Every time.
I thought I was so careful the entire episode.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river, tangerine trees, marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. Go with kaleidoscope light. Cellophane flowers of yellow and green are towering over your head. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes, and she's gone. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Follow her down to a bridge by a fountain, rocking horse people.
So you said that was 93. So she's 21. In the documentary, she mentions that she was studying to be an opera singer at one point. And her teacher said, I hate to break it to you, but this isn't for you. She goes, opera's all about singing what's on the notes that are on the page, and you're trying to change everything and make it your own. You should go out and do that because you're much better at it, and you've got an amazing story to tell. But thinking about like the training that she's had, like that's 93, she's 21. She sounds nearly identical.
Oh yeah,
After,
absolutely.
Yeah. The way she sings. So it's what we always say, you have good technique. And she mentions in the documentary that she's got a vocal coach that teaches her how to scream properly and how to, handle her voice. And she does a lot of vocal rest and really
We
interesting.
we are as listeners, we don't realize how much work goes into certain types of singing,
Yep.
especially when it comes to music where you're quote unquote screaming, or heavy
Mhm.
metal, or anything where you're using this, because if they're doing it for 2 hours straight, they have to have a technique to be able
Mhm.
to do that, and then the next day do it again.
Yep.
So we cannot forget the fact that you may be listening to a heavy metal song and be like, oh, they're not really. No, they went through training to
Mhm.
make sure that they can be that type of singer.
Yep.
So it may not be something you listen to, but they still went through a lot of work to make sure that
Mhm.
they can do this day in, day out, every week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's this really neat section about halfway through, this little like breakdown section, which I liked. So I'm gonna play that before we leave. Did it again. I even queued it up in the right spot. Like,
Shut yourself in a train at the station. Blasters in portals and looking glass ties. Suddenly someone is there at the turnstile. The girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Oh, cellophane flowers of yellow and green. I tap walking on for your hand. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes. And she's good, she's good. Everybody, everybody, it's my love. Everybody, everybody, it's my love. Oh, everybody, everybody, it's my love. Oh, everybody, Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
it's a really good version.
It's a really good version. And I'm gonna say this right now. I want her to put out an album of Janis Joplin songs.
Yeah.
She was in the musical that they had, I think it was off Broadway, that was written by Janis Joplin's sister, called Love, Janis.
Mhm.
And I went to go look to see if they had like a recording of the show. They do have, but it's all Janis Joplin singing the songs. Like, it's all
Yep.
her recordings. So that's what I have to say about that.
On that note, we're gonna call it an episode.
We
And we'll
are
see you next week.
this week.
Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Ben, thank you again so much for all of your information. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, sir.